business. And I have great respect for what you're trying to do and the kind of message and information you're trying to get out, even when I disagree with it. And I do appreciate, the opportunity to share my thoughts. And I hope that by being on the program, not just this time, but from here until I think you said July, right? That we can continue to let these ideas percolate, let people make up their own minds about what they think, let them get perspective from me, from you, from the callers. And so, I really do appreciate the opportunity to do it and to remind you and to be reminded by you that it is not indeed personal, and I do appreciate that.
Exactly. Not personal at all. It is business. I'm definitely looking forward. And as I said, we're not about dogma. I hope that people can listen to the program. Hopefully he'll be here until July, can listen, decide for themselves. Hopefully if I am able to do quality work, there will be a lot more non-white people who are suspicious of Mr. Wise and a lot more non-white people who are not seeking autographs, handshakes, or hugs, but are asking serious questions about racism, white supremacy. We'll wrap with this. Do you think that would be constructive, Mr. Wise, if when you go to do your speaking? Absolutely?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If that's what happens, that's, it's all for the purpose of trying to help undo the system of white supremacy. And so if folks ask tough questions and have tough answers and really think more deeply about this, that's what the work is about. And so I think that will be constructive.
Okay. Heard it from Mr. White. Oh, Justice has one. Justice, rock and roll. Let's get it.
Okay.
Do you think this program is constructive?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's a constructive program, sure. I think any time that people gather on the radio or in person or anywhere to talk about racism and white supremacy, even if there are big disagreements that they have, it's a constructive conversation.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
That'll be all for now.
The catchphrase, outstanding. We will be back February 21st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m.
Can I make a request?
Central. Shoot.
Gus, can I make a request for February 21st?
Go.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Wise, if between now and then, could you try to think of some instances in which can you recall, think really hard, in which you consciously committed acts of racism by commission?
Yeah, sure will. I will try to come up with some, sure.
Okay.
Can you say that again, please, Cree? Say that one more time. I didn't hear.
I requested Mr. Wise to try to recall instances in which he practiced racism consciously and by acts of commission rather than omission by the time he comes back on the 21st.
Okay. That'll be another thing we can look forward to. I'll make sure, remind me so I don't forget. If you can't call in, remind me or something happens so we can make sure we get that on the 21st if he's able to think of anything or at least if he attempted to think of something. Please shoot me an email to remind me. Anybody else that's listening, shoot me an email, make sure I don't forget that in case anything happens. Hopefully she can call in herself and ask, but anything happens, I definitely want to make sure we get that.
And I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down also so that I'll try to remember it.
Right on. I love it. I think that's going to call it one. I enjoyed the program. I think it might have been constructive. We'll have to see. I am definitely looking forward to February 21st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Mr. Tim Wise returns to the cows. Justice and Gus T. Renegade. Thank you, Mr. Wise. Enjoyed it, and looking forward to next time.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I think this was more constructive than the last time he was here. I could be incorrect. The folks that are on the line, if you want to offer your opinion on what you thought about the program, questions, comments, I guess you can curse today. We've had lots of profanity on the program. That's first. Anything you would like to say about the show?
I believe it was constructive as well. There were multiple non-white people who called in and observed or said they also observed Mr. Wise being approached by multitudes of non-whites with tears, and multiple non-white people also confirmed that there were security there at Mount Zion Baptist Church. He said there weren't, so, we caught him in a lie.
I remember the security. I almost touched one. I remember the security, and I remember having dialogue about the security because I was stunned. I didn't know who the security was there for. I didn't see any non-white people who looked like they wanted to get at Tim Wise, like they were upset with him or thought he was racist. I saw people with tears who looked like, name my child after Tim Wise. He's the best thing in the world. I don't know. I don't know. And they're big. I'm not judging these people. They're victims. Not judging. They're victims. They're victims. They're victims. I actually want to admit one thing. The letters that Tim Wise wrote, we have time to get to more of that now, so 21st. I never read all of those letters until today. When I looked at the first one and I saw the tone that he had and how long these letters are, I stopped immediately and said, this is crazy. Tim Wise gets $4,000 to go out and chat about racism. Why does he care what I have to say about anything? I don't even have a phone. So I stopped immediately. I didn't read anymore. I just thought it was crazy. And I felt it would be in my best interest, working against racism and white supremacy, to make those letters public, because the things he said in those letters, in my view, is a strong contradiction to the way he sounds publicly when he talks about racism. I'm glad I read them today. I'm glad I shared some of the portions, particularly what he said about Dr. Welsing. Pseudoscientific bullshit. That's what he said. I cannot wait to get her on a show with him so he can explain her pseudoscientific bullshit. And he has no master's, no doctorate, no nothing. Anyone else? Did you have comments about today's program?
Briefly speaking about tone, his tone in the letter, if anyone has a chance to listen to the program again and just observe the tone Mr. Wise had with justice, I mean, that seemed much less than helpful, in my opinion.
You heard the beginning of the show, right? Back of the bus?
Yes, that's correct, at the beginning of the program.
Okay. I agree. It felt like he came out swinging with an attitude at the beginning of the show. Sure. Like, that's the answer. I don't care if you like it. That's the answer. Yeah. I mean, this is on the show. I'm not talking. I say this to Mr. Wise when he comes back. He said that in the letter, like, I'm laudatory in public and talk bad about him behind his back. I don't fear Mr. Wise. Come on the show. Come to the White Privilege Conference. I don't care. If he wants to come to Seattle, we can do a live chat. The Elvis Presley of counter-racism, I'm not concerned. Do what you're going to do. Practice white supremacy, I suspect, whatever. I hope people really catch that, him talking to a 10-year-old in that manner. And that's come up on the show before, the way people talk to justice on the show. I thought that was real key in answering her questions and just his whole tone that he had with the victim of white supremacy. And he has kids. He has kids that are her age. I think he could have been much better. Definitely pay attention to that. Anybody else? They might have hung up.
Well, I'm at work, so I can't really talk. But I've been here. I heard you try to talk to me before, too, but I was, like, in the middle of something.
I dig it. She's on the job. Multitasking. I love it. And get my videos on after work.
Did you see I've been working on it?
Is that you? Are you Love, Truth, and Liberation? Is that you?
Yes, Truth.
Oh,
yes.
I saw.
It's either Truth, Love, Liberation or Love, Truth, Liberation. Probably Love, Truth, Liberation. Yeah.
I saw today. I didn't know if that was you or not. I thought that was somebody else, but I saw you got the Dr. Welsing show on. Yep.
2 down, 88 to go.
You got to get this one on. I think this is a good one to get on. Tim Wise is everywhere.
Right.
I think.
And I was trying to do them in like chronological order, but listen.